Spiritual discovery is just an errand away. In fact, it can be found at the local drugstore. So it is an accidental blessing that for many of us, our first inkling of motherhood begins with a trip to that holy place. My personal parable begins in aisle 9 of the Milburn Plaza Walgreens. I parked at an odd angle in the lot, unconcerned that the person in the next space would have to crawl through the passenger side to get to their car. I rushed through the automatic doors and headed straight for the feminine care aisle. I have never been able to figure out how many days hath September, April, June, or November. But on that day, a grasp of simple math would have been really helpful. How long had it been since I had my last period? For all I knew, it was sometime during the Taft administration. I was in the murky wasteland of denial, but I had faith that I'd receive the divine wisdom of consumer products in those hallowed aisles. I had done this before, a few times. My first child was a miraculous event. I bought that test at a CVS on Court Street as plumes of smoke blew across Brooklyn from the World Trade Center. He was conceived as an act of love and defiance when the world was falling apart. My second child was an early morning run into a Duane Reade on Smith Street while my mother was visiting. I shared the news with her that day, and he would be the last child of mine that she would get to know. My third son was in the brave new world of New Jersey at a superstore with shopping carts. My husband and I were flooded with joy and overwhelmed with fear. "We can do it," he said, and we held each other close. But that day at the Milburn Plaza strip mall, I wasn't so sure what my husband would say. We had 3 kids, we had hardly enough time to say anything. I rushed past the vitamins and supplements aisle, trying to get terms like advanced maternal age and old Mother Hubbard out of my head. According to my math, when this baby graduated from high school, I would be 163. And he would stay with us at our assisted living facility on college breaks. But then I stopped in my tracks. There, in the middle of my clearly marked destination, was a man. More precisely, a young man of the Jersey variety. His temples were indented by tight sunglasses, sunglasses which were being worn on the back of his neck, so it appeared as though he was looking at me. I lingered near the yeast infection applicators to get a better look. But was this nocturnal creature of the sports bar buying a test for his bepregnated girlfriend? What softness and sensitivity. Then I realized that directly next to the pregnancy test were rows and rows of condoms, and he was struggling to choose just the right variety. The proximity of pregnancy tests and condoms was vexing. 2 products totally related, yet mutually exclusive. A step to the right, and your mind wanders to a night of latex-protected passion. A step to your left, and you're sitting on the toilet awaiting your fate in the form of 2 blue lines. Oh, drugstore gods, you've done it again, revealing the ways of this cruel universe with such elegance. I wailed to myself, mea culpa, Walgreens, I've been reckless. But I couldn't bring myself to grab an EPT with Pauly D standing there, so I went around to aisle 10 to wait him out. The fluorescent lights would not relent. This was not the absolution I was looking for, it was purgatory. I saw my future self, a boring, batty old mom, blathering about BMs and nap schedules, shriveling up at the birthday parties of 7,000 of my children's friends while my friends go on vacation and retire. Dementia was setting in fast. I calculated that if my period was 950 days late, this was either a case of immaculate conception or I was going straight into menopause. That was it. The change was upon me. I was sweaty and unstable for good reason. Where was the menopause aisle anyway, I wondered? Would I find lubricants, hormone supplements, polyester pantsuits? And there in aisle 10, a new cosmology of products began to reveal itself. I scanned the boxes, all featuring old, sweet, old, loving, old couples. The Bath One shower chair, secure personal care underpads, the long-handled toe washer, Products for happy, smiling, barely alive people. I had gone from swim diapers to adult diapers in the blink of an eye. The Standers bed cane, the Medway toilet seat razor, and then the scariest of all, the Freedom Wand, a personal toilet tissue aid designed for self-cleaning and hygiene for anyone with limited mobility. I saw myself alone, an ancient widow, my sons far away, completely dependent on my Freedom Wand. My revelation was clear and profound, a veritable burning bush. I didn't care how many children I had or how old I was. I wasn't ready for that. I would do whatever I could to avoid the Freedom Wand, and that included having another baby. I practically skipped back to aisle 9, ready to embrace the new me, the young, vivacious, fertile me, and leave the old lady me behind. I was as happy as a knocked-up schoolgirl. I grabbed a pink perky box of pregnancy tests, like the pro that I was. Mr. Jersey was unfazed, his arms full of variety packs. He wasn't ready to be a father, and he knew that. That's who he was that day at Walgreens. I, on the other hand, was pregnant. I had known it all along. I bought the test, but I knew it. I ran the errand so many women run when they step out of denial and begin the heart-wrenching, life-affirming journey of motherhood. For me, all it took was a drugstore, a simple act of grace, and a feminine hygiene product. Thank you.